hopping a hand for
Be careful.
Esposito and Scott Higgins, both of them coked up out of their minds.
Listen to you. He's down in the basement.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
I think we should call this the Acement.
The Acement, yes.
Yeah, what do you think there, huh?
I like that.
I
The
don't know.
Acement Studios.
Excuse me, I'm drinking beer. Don't smell this.
We usually drink bourbon on our end
Yeah,
when we
right.
do the podcast, so
That's all right.
feel free to enjoy yourself.
Yeah, exactly. You shoot an 8-ball if you want. We don't care. As long as it's good stories.
And welcome to the Acement, everybody. It's time to go behind the funny. This is Scott Higgins.
And this is Ace Aceto.
And welcome. We're so glad you guys are joining us, and it's great to be back in the Acement again.
Were we not here last
I
week?
wasn't.
Oh, that's right.
I missed it. I was on vacation. But my buddy Ace had an amazing episode for those of you that watched it
That
live.
was a long episode.
Yeah, it lasted about 2.5 days. It was a marathon session.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, just amazing guest last week. So you guys have just put on a great show last week. So
Thank you. My
and
thank you.
and again this week, Ace comes through with another awesome guest.
And it's perfect timing, though, because I was on a show that she produced, her first show at a new venue.
Yes.
Well, not a new venue. Venue's been around
New venue
for a while.
for
New venue
her.
for comedy.
Yes.
And then I was like, wait a minute, Scott's going to be on her next show. Why don't we get her on the podcast, talk about her career?
What a
'Cause we
great
were-
idea.
Well, we were talking a couple of
Genius.
weeks ago when we were planning our late summer into the fall guest schedule.
Yep.
Your name came up,
Yep.
and then I'm like, well, I was going to reach out to her anyway. This is the best time to do it. So, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to welcome to the Behind the Funny podcast, Miss Dawn Tyler.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Cheers.
Cheers. She walked in. I said, hey, just so you know,
Yeah.
we drink bourbon on this podcast. I said, but I have like seltzers, soda. She goes, for the audience that's only listening, she gave me a smirk like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yes. Yeah.
I'm black. Of course I like the brown liquor. What's wrong with you?
Well, the funniest thing was Scott and I had a production meeting before, which was basically dinner. But we talked business.
and we're gonna have another one after.
Then we're gonna have another one after. But we were talking and we were at dinner, and it was just slow tonight. They were really busy, and so Dawn got here and texted and goes, "I'm here," and I'm like, "Oh shit!" I mean, good thing the restaurant's only like 10 minutes
Yeah.
away. So I text her back. I go, "All right, I'm sorry. I'll be there in 10 minutes." She goes, she texts me back. Okay, I'll go back in my car so I don't scare the white folk in your neighborhood.
Listen,
Listen,
This is.
I've heard about Coventry.
well, yeah,
Love you,
Coventry.
Rhode Island.
But this is the.
I'm
is
white
the-
Irish, so I'm scared of this neighborhood.
They don't know that I'm half white by looking at me. You know, the only dark people I saw on the way here were cleaning somebody's lawn, and I was like, "Fuck."
and they were Guatemalan.
Yes.
No, I
We should mention our bourbon date real
I'm-
quick
I'm in
before we
the
get too deep into this. By the way,
I'm in the civilized part of
Oh,
Coventry.
okay. Yes,
so
it's very
that's what
nice
she
here.
meant. The white people.
Yeah, those are the ones you gotta worry about.
homies.
Are you kidding me? Have you not seen The Purge or Get Out?
Oh, my
And you're
God.
like, let's go down in the basement, and I'm like,
She's like, I watched Get Out last night. I am not going in the
my
basement.
God.
lucky I used to
Anyway.
restrain people for a living.
So we are partaking
we
of
jumped right into our guest.
of a
not
bourbon that
literally,
was
like-
given to us as a gift from our good friend Sean Noel.
Yes.
Who's a listener, a friend. Did a great fundraiser for him and his family, and he gave us this as a gift, which we greatly appreciate, Sean. I know you listen every week, so
Thanks, Sean.
we're partaking of your Journeyman Distillery
Featherbone bourbon whiskey.
Yes, it's very delicious, but it's a little on the stronger side, so you have to kind of watch yourself
So,
with this
yeah,
one,
well-
because it sneaks up on you. By the end of the podcast, you're like, no, what I was
I love
saying
it.
was,
Right.
you're not listening.
I love you.
I may have
man.
to shave my chest after this, is what you're telling me?
You
I'll be
might-
texting Ace at midnight, going, you know what, man, you're my best friend.
Yeah, that's not
That's not a joke.
to-
He's received those texts
He has
before.
received those texts.
know that
Yeah, but usually,
to me than you do.
and then he sent me a picture the next day of him laying on the floor of an office, and he said, "My brother-in-law took this picture 5 minutes after I texted you that last text."
I don't remember
And
sending
he
him the
doesn't
text
remember.
or getting the picture taken.
Why have we not hung out before?
It was, yeah. That was right after COVID broke out, in all fairness, so it was a little stressful time.
Yeah.
It was a
I
stressful
hear ya.
time. Stressful
It
time.
was
But
his
anyway.
first time out of the house, evidently.
No, that was in the house.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
sad part.
That was in the house. That's
So-
I did a lot of that.
So
back to Dawn.
yes, because it's about Dawn tonight.
Absolutely.
So as I put in the bio, Dawn has come onto the comedy scene fairly quickly, but you're not just doing comedy,
Right.
because you also burst onto the theater scene locally. So were you doing theater before comedy, or did you start doing both at the same time and you just happened?
I've been doing musical theater since I was 10 years old.
Okay.
So about
So you
6
just-
years now?
No, I'm happy with my age. I'm about to turn 50 in January. So
You go, girl.
yeah, I got my
Air
AARP
fives.
card.
I
Like,
got mine.
Isn't that amazing when that just comes in the
right,
mail?
I was like,
How did
what
they
is
know?
this?
Yeah.
You're like, discount at Dunkin' Donuts every day.
Yes. Right? I can
My
buy
father used
bucks
to
for
do
my
that.
cruise, and the Carnival cruise, you can get like cash stuff. I was like,
Oh, really?
Thank you. Yeah.
Oh, hell
I gotta
yeah.
Look into that. I got a Carnival cruise coming.
Yeah,
up
you go to the
next-
movies.
too.
Go to the movies. One senior, please.
I'm not.
I've
there
yet
yet
to say that yet.
Yeah.
I still get carded sometimes at the package store, and it's not the dude that I suck his dick. So it's the other one.
It's the other one?
The other one. So
He doesn't
the
do
guy
it
that's-
while you're sucking that guy's
no,
dick, does he?
no. Maybe he heard. I don't know.
The guy.
Um,
Scott
yeah.
sucks.
Can I see your ID?
I got carded last night at an airport.
Were you
bar.
sucking a dick?
No.
Wow, that's
It was
strange.
the airport bar. I got carded both
Well-
times. They have to card everyone.
I was going to say some
but
places.
shh, I'm making myself feel better. Okay. I was impressed that she asked me for an ID.
Not for nothing though, Ace. You do look like a beautiful young lesbian.
He drinks the breast.
I don't know what kind of haircut to get anymore. Every
Darn.
haircut makes me look like a beautiful young lesbian.
I
Sexy.
Dude, you have not aged the entire time I've known you. You must drink the breast milk of a blue whale or
I'm a
something.
vampire.
I don't know
I
what
don't
it
know
is.
It's the sperm.
A
You
sperm
haven't
of a
you
blue
didn't
whale.
hear my joke the other day talking about that's why I look so
Stop.
young. I swallow
Well,
because it's not topical. It's sublingual.
So, when did you start your clean comedy division?
Yeah.
Never.
Never.
How many
No.
church shows a year do you do?
Never. But you don't know what's funny? So I've been doing theater all my life, and
Yeah.
I've been in bands. Like I marched in a drum and bugle corps. Like Ace brought his trumpet, and I was like, I should have brought my French horn. I didn't know that we
We
were gonna
almost
have a little
duetted.
quartet,
Yeah.
like super duper. But when I was about 40, my daughter was in high school and she was getting ready to graduate, and I was like, what am I gonna do with the rest of my life? Because my parents had told me, don't go into music. Music's not a career, because that's what I wanted to do, and so
Yeah.
I didn't. And I've had all these other weird jobs that we could talk about later. But
Yeah.
I went to a show, an improv show, and they were like, we have classes. And I'm like, oh, this would be a fun way to get back into it.
Yep.
So I joined an improv company. The guy who I was taking my first class from, he was like, oh, you did theater? We're auditioning for Avenue Q,
Oh yeah.
and we're going to Italy.
Oh,
You
wow.
should audition.
Holy shit.
And I was like, I haven't done this in like
A long time,
My
right.
my local town has a theater guild where they have an adult Broadway course where I would sing on occasion when
Yeah.
I wasn't ruling the public school system.
Yeah.
So I did, and I got 3 parts.
Wow.
And I went to Italy.
Holy shit.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And since then, I'm part of the CT Improv Touring Company. Shout out to CT Improv. I'm on one of their house teams, the Rumor Cauldron. We do narrative improv. We were just at the Ocean State Improv Fest
Oh, wow.
2 months ago. And then from there, it was like I started doing comedy. I think the first time I realized I wanted to do stand-up, I was on a Carnival cruise ship, and at Punchliners,
Yep.
they had an open mic. My mom was like, you should go, you
Oh,
should go,
get
you should go.
out.
You're so funny, you're so funny. Okay, I'll go. And I did. And it was just like, oh, I think I want to start
So
doing this.
your first time trying it was on a cruise ship?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Because that's one of the things we ask is, do you remember the first place you tried stand-up?
That is
And
exactly
yours
the
was
first
a
time.
cruise ship.
Yes.
I think that's our first.
That's our first, because I've never been on a cruise.
We've talked
where
to
they
cruise
had
ship
an open
comics
mic.
that work, but I've
That's
never seen one
crazy.
on a
Yeah.
Wow.
cruise ship.
It was funny because you did that joke about having no filter.
Yeah.
That's exactly like the same joke that I first told.
Right.
Was about the no filter because I
Because
don't have
we
a
don't.
filter. We
Right.
don't. And the lady that you were talking to about that
Yeah.
was my mother.
Oh, that's
I was
kismet
like-
right there.
I'm in the back. I'm like, oh my God, Ace is finally explaining to my mom how I am. I'm like, I've never felt so validated in my life.
She's in the back crying.
Yeah, I was like,
It's like a biblical moment.
I had a little white lesbian connect with my mom.
It took a little white lesbian explain to my mother who I am.
who I am.
after all these years.
She gets me.
Yes.
They really get me.
They get me. There it
They
is.
get me.
You spit it out
I am
before
not
could.
changing my goddamn pronouns. I'm sorry. I'm not. I am not. I like women too much.
Depending on
Anyway.
how much bourbon I have, sometimes I like women too.
They can like women too.
Shut up, Scott.
They sure can.
Listen, fat Macaulay Culkin.
Oh, I can't unsee it now.
It came up last week. No, 2 weeks ago on the episode, he said it. He said, I said that's going to be one of the one-liners for this year, because at the end of the year we do like best of, and we pull a bunch of one-liners that are just funny. And this one goes, "Hey, if you're looking for a middle-aged, overweight Macaulay Culkin, I'm your man."
Just go like this.
He did. Right? It's crazy.
I may have to call you up like that
That's
next
fine.
month. That's hilarious. I talked about him being the backup dancer at his daughter's dance recital, and he's like, "You're
Oh,
never
yes.
gonna let that go on." I'm like, "Never."
Yeah.
That's going to be my new intro. He was the stand-in on Home Alone for Macaulay Culkin.
Yes.
You were the stunt doubles for all the tricks.
So,
He's Macaulay Culkin's stunt double.
yeah.
That's my new intro.
Yes, it should be. I would go with it. I would totally go with it.
I'll walk up on stage and go,
So to say that I usually do dirty things, yes, it just because I have no filter comes out of my mouth.
I'm glad you said that because nobody picked up on that so far.
No,
Yeah, no.
I'm sure.
Nobody
the
just wanna
audience-
make
The
sure.
fact that you were sucking dicks at package stores did not give it
Well, I
away.
mean,
Not
it's
give it away.
2023. We can talk about that now.
Like
Okay,
you
if
didn't
you
before
say so.
2023.
Yeah, maybe just not in front of all these people. but
Yeah.
in certain circles.
Yeah, certain circles. Oh my god. I can have.
There you
I'm
go.
gonna have
Yeah,
to
you better
beat me up?
you better have that locked and loaded.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So
Oh, that's a better one.
You like that one?
that first time you went up,
Yeah.
you really didn't have like a set planned or anything
It
like
was
that.
just all in my head.
So you just kind of wung it.
Yep. Just
And how'd it go?
I killed it. The
Did you?
director was like, I was talking about, well, I'm half black and half white, and the director was there kind of like helping along with people, and he was like, well, which part was black? I'm like, the part that was inside my mother, stupid.
That's a great.
I mean, just, I don't have a filter. Sometimes just it comes in my mouth, and I just want to back in.
But it doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen.
Yeah.
As I've gotten older, I don't know what it is, maybe because I can't remember much, so the filter is a little better.
Yeah.
But oh yeah,
It's
I'm
hard.
it's tough.
Yeah.
No, that's a great way to do it. Now, the other people that got up that night, they probably weren't comedians. They probably just other people on the group.
Yeah, they were just
Right.
people who were like, yeah, I think I could go up there and tell a joke
And
that
tell
a
somebody
couple of
told me,
jokes.
you know,
Yeah, right.
out in the shipyard somewhere, you know.
Right.
So you get back from the cruise. Are you thinking I got to try this some more?
Yeah.
And where was the second time?
Oh shit. It was an open mic somewhere in Connecticut. I don't even remember. Like that's how long
Yeah.
ago. But that one I remember that because that was like the moment that I was like,
Oh, well, everyone remembers.
yeah, the
That
first.
that-
time. You always,
You always remember your
first.
first time.
Because especially like for me, was at a comedy club and I was so nervous that day, and I was worried about remembering everything, and it's just nerve wracking and everything.
Yeah.
I think it would have been better is like because we've had several people that like we went to a comedy show, it was an open mic, and my friend signed me up and didn't tell me, and all of a sudden I was just had to go up there and do it, and I almost think that would have been a better way to start
Right.
because you didn't have time to
Right.
overthink it.
Right.
Right.
I overthought it for a week, and the day of I'm like sick to my stomach, but I did it because
Right.
I always wanted to, so the way you did it, I'm almost like thinking that would have been better.
I was just like, screw it. Like, what do I got to lose? You know.
Right,
Well,
right.
and
And that was right before I was like, what am I going to do with my life? Maybe I should do this, and started with the improv. And then I did a couple of open mics. And then at the theater that we do improv at, they had like a comedy show, and I did one there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then I started
Where is the theater?
in Hartford.
In Hartford?
It's right on Asylum Street. It's 15 Asylum Street.
What's the name of the theater?
CT Improv Comedy Theater.
CT.
Oh yeah. I used to see them advertised when I was at City Scene all the time.
Yeah, because they used to perform
Yes,
at City
yeah.
Steam, and then they moved down the road.
Now, how long ago was the cruise where you started?
I was about 9 years ago.
So is that
Wow.
and you've been doing it?
And have you been doing it ever since? Mm-hmm. So you had just been kind of doing it mostly in Connecticut?
Yeah.
Because I only first worked
Yeah.
with you a year ago. We did the infamous John Parada, bunch of high people in the pool party together.
Oh, yeah, that was
Oh,
fun.
is that when the first time
Remember?
you worked
the
with
first
her?
time.
Yeah, it was me, her, and John.
I did it the year before.
And you did it the year before.
I did it the year
so
before.
we were on the podcast talking about, oh man, this is going to be a shit show. It's crazy. They're really cool, but you're like, I'm literally standing on someone's patio 4 feet from the water with an electric microphone in
It-
my hand.
You
Right.
feel
and
you,
they're all high, just staying
they
in the
were.
pool.
you feel like
Yeah.
you're just a clown at a birthday party, just
Exactly.
Yeah.
there for their
Juggling or
amusement type of
something,
thing,
yeah.
not really
What kind
there.
of balloon do you want?
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
that's what it feels like. But and then afterwards, they're like, "You guys were great.
Yeah.
They're the nicest people."
So nice.
Yeah.
And they breed Great Danes. Like, I was like,
oh
oh my
yeah,
God. And they
all
had
those
puppies,
Great
and I
Dane
was
puppies.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. Because when I first walked in, when I did it, I was like, "Oh my God, this is going to be," because it was
shit
raining.
show.
Right.
When
Yeah.
we went, it was
Yeah.
Yeah.
it was Brian Vincent, myself, and John Parada, and it was raining.
Was that
and it
before
was,
Sophie Tucker had legs?
Yes.
Yeah, it was in Connecticut, and it's in
Yeah.
Colchester,
Yeah.
where like my mother lives like not very far from
Yeah.
there. So I was like,
Yeah.
That was
That
crazy.
was
I think
wild.
the first time I met you was at
Boomerangs.
Boomerangs. Yes.
Yeah.
when I
Yeah.
was hosting that show.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so I had been doing stuff with improv and a little bit of comedy, and then I started working with my friend Rob Santos.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
He's a good friend of mine, and I took his Each One Teach One class to kind of like hone my comedy in, and so I've done the Elbow Room, and
Yep.
then COVID happened. Like, I was supposed to be doing some shows in New York. I had this guy come, I was going to work with Evan Weiss, and then COVID happened and destroyed all my hopes and dreams.
As it
lot.
did everyone's.
Well, because
yeah.
I had been working at a psych hospital for 12 years. That was my job before
Yep.
this was my job. And I got injured restraining a patient. I should have just gone home early. I shouldn't have stayed and done notes. And it was a thing that went on, and I had to restrain a patient, and my knee, it was bone on bone, went like this.
Oh.
I couldn't walk for 8 months. I had to fight with them about comp because it was a pre-existing, condition.
Condition,
But
right.
I teach aerobics like 3
Right.
days a week. So really, like,
Right.
so I decided I have insurance. I'm going to get the surgery anyways.
Yep.
And 2 weeks after I got out of surgery, they said, if you don't come back to work in 2 weeks, we're going to have to let you go. Because I was no longer union. I was a manager.
Oh.
So I had to go through a lawyer and a settlement
my
and
God.
everything. And by
How
then,
could they do that? If
I
you got
know.
the thing, a doctor is going to say it takes 8 weeks or however long to recover from that.
they don't care. Thank you, Hartford
Wow.
Healthcare. By then I had met my husband and my now husband, and he was like, you don't have to go back to that if you don't want to. If you
Yeah.
want to start really pursuing your comedy career. He's a mailman. He's like, I make good money.
Yeah.
Like,
And
so,
he is, he's federal employee.
Right.
Good
Yeah.
benefits
Good guy.
and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah.
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 And we got married in October of 2019. And then
all
COVID
hell
happened.
broke
Just,
loose. And you're still together, which
Oh, yeah,
means
like-
you really do love each other.
right? Because we had only met in December of 2018.
Right.
But, we're old people. Like, I know
Yeah,
what I
you know
want.
what
I've
you
kissed
want.
a lot of
Yeah.
frogs.
Right. Right.
So, it's just perfect. I mean, he's just amazing.
Yeah.
And he gets all my, he's the butt of most of my jokes, and
Yeah.
he's just real cool about it.
Yep.
But then I took John Parada's course
Oh,
just to brushing up.
okay.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
yeah.
We had been in this limbo, and it was like,
Right.
I didn't even remember how to put makeup on. Never mind, tell a joke.
Tell a joke.
The one that
right.
he does with Joe and Colleen.
And
Yes.
Colleen.
Yeah.
So that's what got you back in, and that's what got you into Rhode Island.
Right.
I see.
And I was like, oh my God, it's such a nice place.
yeah,
here.
there's a whole ton of
This is such a
talent
different
here and-
scene
Yes.
opposed to Connecticut.
Because I live in Connecticut.
yeah.
That's right.
Right, and it's I am more connected with this scene
Absolutely.
than I've ever been in Connecticut. I started in Boston, and then I actually got a lot of work in Rhode Island, even though I started in Boston because I hooked up with John Parada early on. So I feel like I'm more part of the Rhode Island scene than I've ever been in Connecticut.
Absolutely.
But do you think that's because there's not a big scene in Eastern Connecticut? It's Hartford West, and then once you get west, it's all New York comics coming up from from the city.
I don't
to do
think there's
road
a
gigs and
dedicated
stuff.
Connecticut scene
Right.
anywhere.
It's-
Like you said, it's
Right.
New York
transplants.
North, right.
Right.
Because you go to the casino, and it's New York guys coming in. It's
Right.
guys from out of state. There's not any, like Rhode Island, it's the Rhode Island guys at Rhode Island places.
Right.
You don't have like an area where the Connecticut people are doing Connecticut shows.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And especially me living in Groton, I'm in Southeast. Like, there's nothing there
Right.
other than the casino. And I'm done doing 5-minute sets.
Yeah,
Like, I'm
yeah.
not.
You've
that's
been
just-
doing it long enough.
Right.
Right.
The only thing we can do is if we want to start our own shit.
Right. Which is
which is
where
where
we'll
I'm
get to
going.
that.
And what
Yeah.
what I've done in Northeast Connecticut
Right.
with my stuff
Right.
is you got to start your own stuff and build your own following.
facts. You are so crazy.
You know what I
No,
say to
it-
that?
Right.
It is what it is.
You know what I say to that?
What? What do you say to it, Ace?
Never
If you
mind,
want a
my
job
thing's
done
not
right, do it
working.
yourself.
Hold on.
Only
That was
took
for
you
her.
17
Well,
tries.
I Hey Scott, why don't you go yourself?
You timed that perfectly.
Didn't I'm sorry for the audience that's listening. I hope we don't lose listeners. I'm just playing around with this new this new, what do you call it?
Yeah, it's
sound thing.
It's 2 months new.
Yeah, I know.
Hit the shut up.
The shut up.
Bottom
Shut up.
left.
Oh,
Shut up.
wow. I don't like that one.
No, I thought it was going to be something different.
It's a lie.
Save that for Scott Tober.
Yes, there's a lot of
Oh,
them.
Scott Tober. Oh, yeah, you guys are into the paranormal spooky dookie.
Yeah.
No, well, hold on. Don't say you guys
Oh, just
are
you.
into.
Just you.
Not
No.
me.
Oh, you really?
He's a baby.
Do you want to know some fun stuff?
Yes.
I'm a witch and I'm an empath.
Are you?
Yeah, and
Are you a green witch?
I am a green witch.
They're the good kind.
They're the good
I
kind.
dated
yes.
a green witch for a couple
I,
of
am
years.
my
a green
butthole
witch.
started tightening up when you started talking about that.
Sorry.
Yes,
guys.
I'm very in tune. So
Yeah.
no, I can't go to places like that because
Yeah, you get-
I'll pick up on it.
Well, I will. I'm going to give away something that we're going to say. Well, we're going to save it for Scott Tober, but I went on an investigation. I had a rare night. So Friday night I did your show.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Saturday night I had a rare night off, and my buddy was out of town. My family, my kids are out of town with their mom. They're out on Cape Cod. I'm like, oh, I got nothing to do, no shows. What do? Well, it happened to be there was an investigation going on 1 mile down the street at the Payne House, which we actually went there
We did
a
an
year ago. We
investigation
did an
there.
It was his first investigation, my first investigation. We went with Tom Stewart. You know Tom Stewart? Have you worked with Tom?
no.
He's a Rhode Island. He's like a Rhode Island, southeastern Mass comic. Lives
Yep.
in like outside of New Bedford now.
Yeah.
But he was a paranormal investigator. Did it for a long time.
Yeah.
Has a podcast.
Very experienced.
Listen to his podcast, My Paranormal Story. Very, very good, where he tells stories. And he introduced us to it. And the night that we were there, nothing really went on.
Or so we thought.
Afterwards, when they started reviewing the EVPs
The recordings
and stuff,
and
Yeah.
everything.
there were like 3 separate incidents where there were EVPs. So the other night, I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm going to take my time. The investigation started at 7. I got there like maybe 8:30. And no one, like, I didn't want to, because when you're in that kind of environment
Right.
and you come late, I waited outside because I went into the main room first and I couldn't hear anyone. They were all the way around in the kitchen.
Right.
So I'm just standing there, and then Ken comes out, Ken DaCosta, who's head of Rise Up Paranormal, and he goes, oh, I'm so glad you came down. He goes, I'm just out here. I got to look for some headphones. We just caught a voice in the kitchen. He goes, clear as day. Everyone heard it. And so he goes, so I went in and they had me listen. So they have this, it's an EMF detector,
Yeah.
so electromagnetic field detector, but it's inside of a stuffed animal.
Okay. Yeah.
So that if you want children,
Right. They're drawn
spirits,
to it.
they'll latch onto it, right?
All about it.
So at one point they have it on the floor and they said, "Don't leave."
Come on.
He's packing up.
I can tell you scary stories.
Well, so he said that they're all sitting there in the kitchen, and they're talking to this little girl, and they said, "We have this stuffed animal here, this little dog toy. Would you like us to move it?" He said, and everyone from the other side of the room, everyone heard a little girl's voice say, "Yes, please."
And this is a little girl that they've contacted there before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her
She
name
is-
is
she
her
is-
name
Her
is
energy is
Clara.
there.
Yeah, her
Clara.
name
Yeah.
is Clara.
Yeah.
She lived in the house. Her mom's name is Sarah. Sarah has spoken to Satori
Yes.
and
Yeah.
Cody. So we're in there, and I'm like, wow, that's crazy. I just missed it. He goes, listen to this. I put the headphones on, clear as day. Little girl's voice says, "Yes, please."
I watch all the taps. What?
Well-
This is Rhode Island. Taps?
We're meeting after the show because we've had Jason on the show, Jason
Yeah.
Hawes. We might be meeting up with him later
That's cool.
because I'm trying to get him back on the show.
Our first investigation was there at the Payne House a year ago, and then my buddy Ace somehow, I think he drugged me, talked me into doing an overnight stay and investigation at the Conjuring House.
I just imagine him being like the cowardly lion, like,
You know what's funny? That's how you think he's going to be because when we're on the podcast and he's listening to EVPs, that's how he is.
Yeah.
But he's not really like that on an investigation. He's very serious.
Because I
He's
get
calm.
like hyper focused.
yeah.
So I get in this like mode when I'm there. And when you're, it's for people that are listening, when you're there at the investigation, a lot of times, you don't pick up on a lot of stuff necessarily in the moment. Sometimes
Right.
you do,
Not
sometimes you
everything's
don't.
like the other
a lot of
night.
times it's when you review afterwards is when you pick up on
Right.
stuff. Conjuring House, there was stuff that happened there in the moment. And there was stuff that like Satori and Cody had me join them and hold their hands while they were communicating, and I got involved in it. And let me tell you, the hair on my arms was standing
And
up.
we're having them back on in Scottober to talk about that because something happened there.
That was
that
mind-blowing.
We haven't shared on the podcast yet, but
That's
we're going to have
fantastic.
audio.
While it was happening, I literally leaned against a wall because I didn't think I was going to continue to stay standing while this was happening. And I'm not even exaggerating.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
not even
I-
exaggerating.
There are spirits that are with me in my house. And I'm assuming that they are my one is
Guardians.
my great grandmother because I have her old sweater. And I think that she thinks that these are her glasses.
And she's like, "Bitch, I'm cold. Give me my
Yeah,
sweater
give me
back."
my sweater.
That's what she made me. She's like, give me my sweater back.
You know the afterlife is freezing. Give me
And
my
I-
sweater
and I
back.
can't see a goddamn thing. Give me my glasses
Right?
back.
Because I can put my glasses down.
Shit, it's dark in here.
And
Give me
I'll
my
turn
glasses.
and look, and I'll be like,
moved.
They're gone.
They're gone?
I don't know where they are.
Well,
And I'll go, can somebody, that's not funny, can someone please give me my glasses back? And all of a sudden they'll be like,
Wow.
Well, Cody and Satori have a haunted museum. So they have a bunch of stuff they've taken out of houses that were creating disturbances in people's houses.
Yeah.
And they take them back and they quarantine them and they study them. Well, they bring stuff in here. This was Ace's fabulous ideas. Have them bring shit in
Brought 'em
here.
here.
no.
And I don't know why they
No.
always have to have a fucking doll when they come in here.
Yeah, no
Dolls
dolls.
are the scariest shit ever.
Have we not seen Annabelle?
Yeah,
Like,
well, that's the best. When we did the Conjuring House investigation, one of the people that was working it has a Jeep. And in the front of the Jeep, as we're walking up the driveway, they had an Annabelle doll in the
driver's side of
in
the
the
Jeep.
driver's
Wrong.
side. Oh, it was messed
That's-
up. It was messed
So
up.
But
last
so good.
Last year when Cody and Satori were here, one of the things they had was this porcelain clown.
Oh yeah.
And we're talking and they're showing us other stuff, and all of a sudden halfway through the episode we look and we're like, that clown turned. Because
We
it
didn't
would
see it.
they had it facing forward at the camera. We're 100% positive. And when you watch the episode, I've watched it several times, the video, and I don't see the moment it turned, but all of a sudden it's facing towards him and I. When it started, it was facing forward towards the camera.
That's
crazy.
fantastic.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden at one point, it's no longer facing that direction.
It
So
is.
it absolutely moved. But I can't catch the moment when it moved.
When it moved,
And our
yeah.
camera is static. It's not moving
Our
around.
camera's
Right.
not doing anything. It's just
Yeah.
sitting on
It's
the table.
the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
It's energy dispersed in the atmosphere.
And that's what that's the
Right.
thing.
like when we die, we have this concept. We're going
Now-
to heaven. Like what?
now
if we're
one-
just-
maybe heaven is just
maybe
where
we're-
electromagnetic energy in the air here.
Exactly.
And we're just experiencing heaven or
Right.
you know.
Dave McCormick, a haunting
I
in
know.
Coventry, unimaginable.
Unimaginable. Dave McCormick. You know Dave, right?
I think I
He's
know
another.
that.
He's a newer guy too. Well, he did comedy a long time ago, and then took like a bunch of years off, and now he just started back up.
Honey, call me.
Yeah.
Oh.
No,
You haven't seen him yet. No,
Oh,
no,
he's-
I'm kidding. He's written. No, Dave's good. He took Poppy Champlin's
Okay,
class. So,
nice.
Yeah.
yeah.
No. So
You
I
know,
want to get back to her.
No, it's
Stop
ghostly.
talking
We
about-
can
Your
still
fucking
talk
jokes,
about ghostly.
Dave.
You're
Yeah.
ghostly.
Ring, ring. No, I want to get back to her. Stop talking about
So-
paranormal. We have a
We
whole
can
month to
still-
do it.
Right.
I
I'll
didn't
come back and
start that
talk to you.
conversation.
I know,
But
okay.
anyway, so you tried comedy on the ship. You came back. You were working at it. Now, before you tried it on the ship, was comedy ever in your thought
Yeah.
process?
Absolutely.
How-
Because you did improv.
I did well. No,
right?
well, I did.
Yeah,
improv
but you-
after I did stand up for the first time is when I got into improv.
I was going to say, because a lot of people that do improv aren't necessarily thinking of stand-up. It's
Right.
more of an acting type of thing.
Yes,
Yeah.
because I was always acting and
Right,
doing theater
right.
and singing and
Yeah,
all
but
that
actors
stuff.
want to be comics. Comics want to be actors. Everyone wants to be musicians.
Well, people-
Right.
musicians want to be comics.
Right.
You know?
I
Well,
was a
people like
little bit of
Jason
everything.
Sudeikis has said he's never wanted to try stand-up, but he did a lot of improv.
Right.
Right.
Because he likes working with other people and playing off other people
Right.
and everything like
Right.
that.
And most people are like, oh, stand-ups don't like improv and vice versa.
No, I don't agree
Where
with that.
when I don't agree with that because I think that improv teaches you for those moments when
How
you
to be
do
in the
crowd
moment.
work.
Right. Exactly.
It can, depending on your skill set and who you are.
Right. I mean,
If you
because
work at
it's
it,
improv,
yeah.
you take suggestions from the audience and you turn it into something.
Right.
Where you have to interact, and then you have to interact with somebody else that you don't know what they're going to say either because it's not scripted.
right.
So that's why I like that. But I've always been the kid that cracked jokes.
Yeah.
I remember being a kid and being at my grandmother's house and listening to her Mom's Mabley records.
Oh, my
Okay.
God,
Mom's
yeah.
Mabley is my idol.
Yeah.
And I was
Man,
like
talk about
that.
old
You know what's
school.
Yes,
funny?
old school.
You know
old
what's
school.
funny? I
That's
hadn't.
amazing.
I didn't think I had heard of Mom's Mabley when I first heard Howard Stern bringing it up, bringing her up, and how he used to watch when he was a. And then I watched old videos of her, and I'm like, I remember her. I remember her when I was little. She used to go on Flip Wilson because
Yes.
I used to love the Flip
Yeah.
Wilson
Yes.
show, Sonny and Cher, like all those variety
Yes.
shows in the early
Right.
70s when we were little.
Right, when we were
Used to-
little.
I used to watch them.
But
all
I
the
don't think
time.
we understood who she was in that
No,
when we were
didn't.
watching.
No.
No, we didn't.
Or you should watch. I watched a show on PBS about her story of her life.
Yeah. Crazy, right?
Like, I remember she told this joke about how she met John Wayne for the first time, and she said, and he called me Trigger, or at least that's what I thought he said. And I was like,
That's
this lady's
awesome.
comedy gold.
Yeah.
That's
Like,
a
oh my
brilliant
God.
joke.
That is.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
That's a brilliant joke. Saying that during a time where you couldn't say stuff like that.
Right.
Right.
But a lot of those, and we had a guy on the show, Max Docelli. Do you know Max?
I don't think I know
Connecticut.
Connecticut guy.
Okay.
He lives in Tallinn, Connecticut, but his father was from Italy, and his father passed away, and a American black gentleman married his mother and moved them to America. So he grew up in a black
mixed
neighborhood.
family.
Right.
Yeah.
So to him that was just normal, but he grew up on the party records of Red Fox and
Yeah.
Mom's Mabley and all
Yeah.
that.
Right.
So that's what taught him comedy. And he told us all about that stuff when he was on the show and everything
Yeah.
like that. And they were brilliant at saying social things and dirty things, everything without saying it.
Right.
Yeah.
They had some of the best writing of jokes
Yeah.
for the time, and no one really knew about them.
Right.
Yep. And that's the sad part. Like Red Fox will be remembered because of Sanford and Son.
Exactly.
Right.
Because he catapulted into TV. But how many people know who Moms Mabley is?
Not many. When I say
No.
it, like they'll be like, "Oh, who's your idol?" And they're like, "Oh, Wanda Sykes." Oh, yes, Wanda Sykes. Yes, Whoopi Goldberg. Whatever.
Right.
Tina Fey. Moms Mabley. And they're
Right.
like, "Who's Moms Mabley?" I'm like, if you don't know, like, you got to go back to the beginning.
Did you
Right.
watch The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel?
Of course.
They did a nod to her in that,
Yes.
which I thought was awesome.
I loved that show. I'm upset that it's over.
That it's over.
Yeah, it was well done.
It was
Yeah.
Really
well
well
done.
done.
Very well written. Tony Shalhoub, like,
Oh, he was
Yeah.
great in that show. He was great. in that show.
amazing. The cast was
I'm
stellar.
probably the only comic that hasn't watched
You
it.
haven't watched it yet?
I
You
haven't.
should.
I know.
Kevin
I know.
Pollak
I keep
was great.
saying I was
Right? Oh
gonna-
my God. Like,
As Moish.
moist. Moist.
Listen, I think there's going to be a period of time now where there's not going to be much new stuff coming out.
That is
Yeah.
true.
You
So
can, you
This
can
is
get
the
caught
time
up
to
on a lot of
binge,
stuff. I highly recommend that.
I'll
even
send
if you're
you
not
a list.
even if you're not a stand-up, it's just the character
no.
development, the show.
I
Yeah.
wasn't
It's
against
so-
it. I wasn't against
No,
it.
you-
It's just something I never said, all right, I'm going to start watching this.
No, and I'm the
you
same
know?
way with some shows. I have people, did you ever watch this? No.
Yeah.
Why not? I just never got
Yeah.
around to it.
I get that. My husband's like, "Oh, let's watch this stand up." I don't watch other stand up
Me
shows.
neither.
He doesn't either.
I don't
like
do
to
that
either.
because I'll be the moron
You don't
that will
want-
hear something and I'll be like, "Oh, I'm gonna write." Yeah, no,
Same
I'm
reason.
not trying
How
to
many
take
times?
somebody else's stuff.
Right. But
I'm not
10
gonna
months
do that.
later, you
See?
wake up one morning and go,
Right.
I got this great idea. I want to talk about this.
But-
and you might not do the same exact joke.
But you don't recognize
you're-
in your head that maybe I heard this before?
not if you watch a lot of it. no.
Right, and we're old now.
Yeah.
I don't know where that comes
Now,
from. I think
listen.
it's magic.
That's like me waking up and going, yeah, I want to do this thing about how guys repress their anger. And every time they go get to pick up a pumpkin at the supermarket, they hear their friends in the background go, what are you, a fag?
You'd come on.
Of course I would remember that one. That was Bill Burr. But I know Bill.
Right.
I started with him, and so I don't think I would have that. And like I watched Joe Coy because, I don't think I
So
would
if you do stuff
something.
about your Filipino mother,
Exactly.
Right,
Joseph.
Joseph,
Joseph.
Yeah. No.
Richard.
Yeah, I can't. I wouldn't do it. I don't think I would do it. But just
He's
run of the mill
phenomenal.
other comics, no, I don't watch them for
See,
that
I-
reason.
I-
I'm afraid of
I don't-
parallel thinking.
I don't
you know.
watch a ton. Like I won't watch people I know, but if it's someone I love, like Neil Brennan, I think is a brilliant writer.
I like Neil.
And
Brennan.
so when he comes out with a special, I watch it just because our style, but
It's-
also
your
our
style
styles
is
are so
different.
different,
Right.
that I'm not gonna. I don't think like him,
Like-
and I'm not gonna do material like he does.
Right.
Like
So
I would watch John Mulaney because I'm nothing like him. I don't think I would go on stage and talk like John Mulaney,
But you would.
but I would do it on a podcast.
I want to see you do a John Mulaney joke as Gilbert Godfrey.
I don't know any John Mulaney jokes. That's the problem.
I
Give
know,
me a
you're
joke
so
and I'll do
talented at the voice.
Or Norm Macdonald.
it. Hey, the thing about that John Mulaney guy, he's gay.
That's great. That's great.
It's so easy to bait me into a voice.
I
and
don't
he does
do
it every
voices
week.
as well as you do.
He just baits me every time. Especially because he knows what I'm going to say. It's the same stupid things over.
I
Anytime
love
it's
it.
Norm, it's gay. It's going to be
He's
that.
gay.
You guys should have a wheel of comics of voice
Oh,
and
yeah,
then
voices.
spin it
That would
and
be
then be like
That would be a fun part of the show.
Put
We
it
could
right
do
there in the
it.
middle and
yeah, just
release you down. Christopher Walken.
Wow.
See?
Honestly, it's awesome being here. Guys, fucking rain.
That's
That's a throwback to Andrew Kennedy. No, but yeah, that would be cool. Especially because I get to do voices that I don't normally do on the show,
So between your
Yeah, let's
improv,
get back
Oh
to
yeah,
business.
we were
Come
talking
on.
about me. Oh shoot.
You and these
Like,
goddamn sidetracks. Let's go. Oh,
I'm
come
sorry.
on.
I'm sorry, Peter.
So-
oh my god.
No, that's Ray Romano.
Oh yeah.
That's
Oh, is that
not-
Ray?
Yeah, if I was going to do
Oh,
Peter
yeah, do
Griffin,
Peter.
it would be more like this.
Oh Peter.
Oh, Peter, that's
Oh Peter, that's
nasty.
crazy. Like
That's just nasty.
perhaps we should talk about me for a little
Yeah.
bit. I don't know.
Oh, you think it'd be a good idea? Huh? Oh, yeah.
Lois
yeah.
over there?
Yeah.
My husband likes it when I do Lois.
Oh, does he?
it-
He's a little
I
sexy
guess I'm a little excited. Yeah.
I'm sensing a duo, a duo act.
Oh, yeah, all of a sudden I'm in her bedroom going,
Yeah, come on, Lois, take your shirt off.
You have to unbutton my bra. My arms are like T-Rexes. I can't get back there.
I love it.
We could sing songs and everything. Oh my God.
We'll do the cabaret at the
Yeah.
theater.
Oh my God.
You don't bring me flowers
Anymore.
That'd be fun.
K-Tope Records brings you.
Summer
Duets of-
loving,
yeah.
have me a blast.
Summer loving. I want a beer. Cartoon duet.
Yes.
Endless love.
My endless love. Oh my.
Islands in the stream.
Islands. Islands in the stream. That is what we are. No one in between.
Like zoinks.
How can we be?
How can we be wrong, Scoop?
Okay,
Raggy.
sail away
Oh
with
my
me.
God, we're gonna lose listeners. It's ridiculous.
I want to do a voice.
I wanted to voice.
I want to do a voice.
Oh,
that's
that's
right,
right, dear. There you go.
Oh, you do Mrs. Doubtfire.
That's right.
That's the only one he does that I
That's
don't.
it.
Pretty much.
Kinda.
Because we can both do Sean Connery.
Oh.
That's not what your mother said last night, Trebek.
Let's play Hunt for Myra in October.
I'll pick lay tits now.
That's
I'll take
Let It Snow.
the rapist for 300.
Yeah. All right, stop.
That's therapist, Mr. Connery.
We are going off the rails.
That's okay.
I don't
Now,
Because we want to learn more about you,
Oh,
not
yes.
about us.
Oh,
Now-
about
we
me.
now
know what idiots we can
Yeah.
be.
yeah, we love it. But anyway,
Just give me a chance. I'm almost done.
you know, obviously we talked about your improv background. We talked
Yeah.
about your first time on stage was just kind of winging it.
Taking the
As-
class, working, and expanding
right.
into
Yeah.
Rhode
Then I
Island.
started doing stuff with John. And then John's like, hey, you want to start hosting? And I was like, okay.
Now, how is, you know, we talk to a lot of writers on this show.
Mm-hmm.
How do you approach stand-up even now? Are you still more on the improv side? Do you write more? Do you do a little bit of both? I mean, where are you kind of in your pocket when it comes to comedy?
Right now, I'm in the stand-up pocket. Because I got married and I moved from Willimantic, Connecticut, which you know is...
Oh, yeah. It's the cent-
It's
I'm too white to say it.
Yeah, but you know, you're right. You know where I'm from. I'm from Wyndham.
yeah.
Um,
Are you really? From
yeah,
Wyndham?
yeah.
I had cousins in
Wyndham.
growing up. Say it right.
Wyndham.
Wyndham.
Why are you putting
They
so
were
much
in,
emphasis
actually,
on
they
the
were in
H?
South Wyndham.
South. Oh yes, South Wyndham, Wyndham, and Wyndham Center, North Wyndham, all part of Wyndham and Willimantic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
I know that area
my
very well.
my family has been in that
Oh,
town
wow.
for 70 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to talk
That's-
after the show.
yes,
I'll give out
definitely.
the address.
Well, it's funny because my mom says that. Do you know any Champlins that live here in Coventry? Because we have family that are from
Really?
Coventry. Yeah.
Oh.
She was like, "Oh, you're going to Coventry? Like, that's where Harry Champlin. That's where the Champlins are from."
Oh, really?
I'm like, well.
Welcome
okay.
to the Family
All right.
Reunion
Obviously,
Podcast.
this is not my black side that's talking.
Yeah, right.
Welcome to the Family Reunion
Yes.
Podcast. We're going to talk about the
Family
Champlins of
reunion.
Coventry.
The Harry, Harry and
Oh,
Cheryl.
my God.
The bourbon's kicking in.
Yes, it feels good. It
On
does.
everyone.
So yeah, I'm more on the comedy side right now.
But when you do your stand-up, what I kind of meant was, are you kind of just in the moment when you're on stage, or are you working more from prepared material?
the theater part of me is about the prepared material.
Right,
Okay.
Right.
That's I write my stuff and then I have like a base and then
But
I'm
then your
free
improv
to
mind goes
right. So I'm
off.
free to expand based on audience participation or
Yeah.
lack thereof.
Yep.
So yeah, like I have my phone is full of stuff now. And people are like, how do you write your stuff?
You got an idea in your
I
phone.
smoke a lot of weed,
You go
or
up
I
on
eat
stage.
some edibles, and I watch some TV or look at TikToks and go, that's funny. And I'm like, oh, I should write about that. And then
Right.
all of a sudden, my mind, it just like, I glaze over and I have a notebook, and then I just write, and I don't even look. I just write like I'm possessed. And then I'm like, I look down, I'm like, that's fucking
Now, is it as funny the next day?
Well,
Or have there been times where you go and look at it the next day
And say,
go,
what the fuck was I
No, I look
Yeah.
at the hieroglyphics and I'm like,
Yeah.
where's the abacus to decipher
Yeah.
this? Like, what?
Right.
I need the Book of Ra to decipher
Yeah.
this.
I'm the
Right.
same way. I'll look back at it like a week later. I'm like, what the hell was I thinking?
That's why I
Or
put
if
it on my phone.
Right. If I read it again and I'm like, that shit's funny, then I know I probably have something.
Right.
Right.
And then I'll take that and then expand, or it'll be like little things. And I try to give them titles in my notes now so I know what they are.
Do you
No.
write it out word for word, or are you more of a just kind of like a bullet point?
points.
Word for word, because my comedy is basically just, it's very observational and conversational.
Okay.
Where I'm talking. So, I try to keep that flow. And then, you do your editing, like 3 words are better than 5,
Right.
so you have to
So
cut it
you
down.
literally do
condense-
edit it down.
I do a whole lot of editing and cut it down to what it is. And then I take it and go.
Sorry.
In the beginning, my jokes are always way too long. And 90% of the time, I don't know what it is, my punchline is always in the middle. Because I'll tell it like the first time and I get a laugh in the middle, but I always feel this need that there's not enough there. There's not enough meat in the bone. I
Right.
got to tell more to it.
Right.
But I really don't.
Yeah.
No.
I hit the point.
right.
Why do I keep feeling this need to overtell this thing?
Maybe it's-
oversell it. And I've always been that way. But and I've had guys go, you got a big laugh in the middle. Why'd you keep going?
Right.
Because it didn't feel complete to me. But then after I tell it a few times, I realize just cut that off and
Right.
Right.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Right there.
I feel like I'm more of a storyteller than like a setup punchline kind
Yeah,
of
we're
person.
the
Yes. Yeah. Same
You
thing
know,
with us. Same
so
thing with us.
sometimes I will hit them with the proverbial punchline in the beginning and then backtrack from there and take you on a journey.
Right. And you can always add to it.
And you can always add
And then
to it.
then you build that story as you go.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly.
As long as you're adding punchlines as you go.
Right, of course.
So that you're holding their attention.
Right. Otherwise, you're like, I already
It's
know
just
what
a
happened
story.
in this story.
Right,
but,
exactly.
like,
Yeah.
funny.
That makes sense.
And-
Then it took a twist. It took a turn.
yeah, exactly.
right.
You want that.
And everybody approaches it differently. That's why I
Right.
like to bring it up because, like Frank Santarelli, when he was on, like he said,
Frank Scanarelli scoffs at punchlines.
scoffs at jokes.
At jokes.
Jokes.
What's wrong with you people?
Who do you think I
This
am,
is
Lenny
funny
Bruce?
stuff.
No, because some people will, like you said, will do set up punchline, and then they say, well, I can add punchline. Then other people, I'll do a story, and I'll just add a laugh here, and then build to another laugh. So everyone has kind of a different process.
Right. I
Right.
mean, that's what callbacks are for. Like, I want to be able
What
to.
is that, Ace? What did she say?
I don't know what
You
those
don't know.
are.
Yo no sé callbacks.
I do callbacks on this show.
No
that are
hablo callback?
fucking-
no hablo callback.
No hablo callback.
No,
Como
no.
se dice callback in Ace?
Ace is the king of podcast callbacks.
I
though.
do podcast callbacks that are so fucking funny, but I do not have one callback in my act. I don't know why.
I literally have not laughed as hard as I have doing the show with Ace at a comedy show at some of his callbacks, but I've never seen this man do a callback when he's on stage in front of a live
I don't
audience.
know why.
It's the
I don't know
weirdest
why.
thing.
I need to just literally take like 1 or 2 lines that I say. Or even, you know what? Here's what I should do. I should just call back with a voice. Like
Yes.
if I'm doing Gilbert
Yes.
Gottfried earlier
Yeah.
in the
You could just
in the
throw
thing,
him in later.
Just throw it in later. where he
Commenting on
says
something else.
Right.
It's so
I think
easy.
we're on to something.
Think your callbacks are your voice impression.
Because you have so many great impressions, you could easily throw them in.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think
I
we just-
recently used a line that I do early in my set. Then I call back to it 2 more times, and I was doing a show with him. I walk off stage. I go, "Did you notice how I called back to Uncle Timmy 3 times tonight?" And he goes, "Yeah, I get it."
Oh.
But some of that is too is
WTF?
no, some of that is your material. You have built such good stories that, and some of your stories are long that you
Right.
didn't need to call back
Right.
onto stuff.
I just built this.
you know,
this-
I have this good
fully
story, and then I
formed
can go to
story.
this fully formed story, and then I
Right.
can go to this.
and I just
fully-
haven't found a fully
Touch
formed
mama.
story. Okay, hey, baby. You let me say when. Is that good? More?
She didn't say
I'm a
when.
big girl. Bubba told me to have a good time with my friends.
I love Bubba.
I was like, "Do you want to come?" Because he likes to go.
Yeah.
And he's like, "No, I'm trying to I'm like, I know you're addicted. It's okay. You don't like to be far from me, you know. And he's like, no, go play
He's
with your
trying to
friends.
wean himself
Yes,
off.
wean
of it.
himself. Yes.
Go play with your friends.
Yeah, go because that's what I tell him. I'm
Yeah.
like, go play with your friends. Like, leave me alone.
Yeah.
I love you. I love you.
Yeah.
Now, in 9 years of doing stand-up, you know, obviously you've had a blast. You've done very well for yourself.
Thank you.
What were some of those big moments that, you know, where all of a sudden you're standing on this certain stage, or you're working with a certain person besides Ace and
Besides
I,
us,
Yes.
of course.
yes.
where you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm here in this moment. You know, that
Yeah,
those
like
wow moments.
High points of your career.
Oh.
And you could even say something from improv or
Well,
anything.
Well, most recently, I'm producing shows for the Newport Playhouse,
Right.
the opening show.
Well, let's jump to that. What made you decide to produce your own shows? Because let's face it, doing stand-up is one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Producing shows
Totally
it can be a whole nother headache
Absolutely.
altogether.
Absolutely.
A lot of headaches.
I am producing for the Newport Playhouse. Eventually, I will be producing my own because I'm going to start in my production company, Sugar Pimp Productions,
I love it.
because that's
That's
what
a
my
great
that's
name.
what
Love
that's
that.
what my brother-in-law calls me, Sugar Pimp.
Sugar Pimp.
That's a great
Because I'm
name.
very sweet, but I'm a boss ass bitch.
Right. I
That's
love
a
it.
great name.
I love it.
So I've been performing at the Newport Playhouse for about a year now.
Right.
I've done 2 plays and 3 cabarets. And I've always talked to, shout out to Jonathan Perry.
Great
Great guy. Fantastic. Family owned.
And I love what's happening down there because, like, I even told him the night I met him last week, I was like, man, I have always heard of the Newport Playhouse. I never saw it. He goes, because we were at the end of a dead end fucking street.
Right.
No one knew we were here. They just, and I don't know if it's because they closed the casino, but for whatever reason, they have rerouted that whole, what used to be a rotary
Yeah.
is now just like a straight road. And now he's right on the main road.
Yep.
You see it. It's Newport Playhouse, nice parking lot right there on the road.
Yep, it's
so the
fantastic.
visibility. So I'm so happy that after 40 years, obviously he's been successful if he's
Right.
been around for 40 years, but I can only imagine how much more successful with that kind of visibility.
Absolutely.
You know?
And he and his dad had started it.
Yep.
And again, it's been 40 years, and you can go there. You go and you have a buffet meal.
I love that idea too.
And then you go into they have a stage theater.
Actual theater.
An actual theater, and you watch a play for about 90 minutes. It's usually, there are comedies. And then you go back into the dining room for dessert and a cabaret show with singing
fucking great night.
Brilliant.
and skits. And,
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun. And now they're doing other things like, hosting. There's a folk festival that's going to be there. And they had like a guy who did Willie Nelson covers. And now he was like, I want to do more with this. And I'm like, absolutely. This is a fantastic place. When we become very good friends. And I was like, he's like, you ever thought about doing some comedy here? And I'm like, absolutely. I would do comedy here.
Yeah.
I think he did comedy there. There was like 1 or 2 times he did with Bill Seamus.
Uh-huh.
And it didn't really go anywhere. And I was
Yeah.
like, this is the time.
Yeah.
What you need is a little brown lady to give you a really good show.
A little
Well,
brown
they-
will turn things
That's
around.
right.
In all
Mhm.
fairness,
Once you go brown, we turn things around.
well,
You go, girl.
In all fairness, Billy is like a little brown woman too.
I love him. I love that.
No,
He's-
but
he's
sometimes
sweet.
the timing isn't right.
Was it Bill
Right.
or was it JR that was doing it?
It was Bill. There's a poster of Bill in his office, so I know it was
all right.
Bill. There was a
'Cause I
couple of
know
other
he
people
tried
too.
a couple
yeah.
of other people, and
and it is all
sometimes
about timing. And
Yeah.
right now,
it's your time,
it's
girl.
my time. And I was like, he's giving me this venue
Yeah,
because I live 15 minutes from Mohegan Sun. I
Right.
go to comics. I only get like 5 minutes. Like you started my set. I'm like, the only people who are good at doing 5-minute sets are men because it's like sex.
5's a little long for
Well,
me.
that's what I'm
him.
saying. Like,
I'm
you get really into about 5 minutes. If you do some crowd work, you could get 7. But like,
you
women take longer.
I'm Irish. If you give me 5 minutes, I'm going to hit the punch at about 2, and then I'm doing crowd work for the last 3.
Right? See,
Yeah.
it's just like in the bedroom
yeah.
where it's like, oh my god, now I have to do foreplay.
Usually about the time my wife is saying I'm ready, I'm going.
Right. You know, it's like when I get a 5-minute set, I go back in the green room and I talk to myself for 15 minutes until I feel satisfied.
Right. You got to finish off yourself.
You gotta finish it myself. Like,
That's a good joke. You better write that
oh my
down.
God.
Yeah.
Maybe if y'all come to my show, you'll hear me say it again.
Exactly.
I
No, so-
hear you have like one of the best shows you've ever booked, August 11th.
Yes. I have some really
It's the second
great
best
people.
show to your opening show.
It is because
Fuck.
the first show was all single parents. I
Yeah.
try to, get that.
Yeah, I like that
theme.
theme too.
That
Because you know
theme.
what? It forced me to. I haven't done. So I'm trying to build a joke around my book.
Yep.
And I have a couple of lines that are getting laughs consistently, but it still needs to be worked out.
Yeah.
Right.
And I don't feel comfortable doing it on most shows. But because I was introduced as a single parent, it opened the door for me to talk about that and test
You're
it on another
welcome.
crowd. Yes, and test it on another crowd.
And when I'm there August 11th, I'm also going to do a joke about Ace's book.
Yeah. Thank you.
Absolutely.
So that'll work well.
Yeah.
Well, this one was kind of like they're characters. You guys are characters. We've got Johnny Rotten, who is Macho Man Randy Savage's little brother.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yes, snap into a Slim Jim.
Yeah, brother.
Oh yeah, brother.
Let me tell you, Hogan.
Rotten is.
I grew up watching that
yeah.
every Saturday. We would go to my grandmother's house.
11 a.m., baby.
Yep.
We would get there earlier. We'd have to watch
This was
Looney Tunes,
before then.
Mutual Omaha's Wild
Wild
Kingdom.
Kingdom.
That was Sunday night.
And then it was WrestleMania time.
Let me tell you something, brother.
Yeah.
You and the rest of the Hulkamaniacs.
And my dad and my uncle would buy steamers and lobsters, and we would
that's
take
awesome.
newspaper and we would cover it over all of our coffee table.
Yep.
And she would be
And
like, "You
just
better not
eat.
get any juice on my table." And we would sit there and we would eat that and watch wrestling. Junkyard Dog, the British
Chief
Bulldogs,
J.
like
Strongbow.
Whoa!
The Mad
Ricky
Ricky
Steamboat.
the Dragon Steamboat.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh!
The Samoan
The
brothers.
Samoan.
Those are old school.
Those were
those were
the
really
good ones.
I love
The
those.
good times.
And then they used to have, can't say midget wrestling anymore, but you say.
Oh
little
no,
people-
that's not true.
No,
No,
I
no,
know.
no. You can follow them
I
on
fol-
Instagram. Did
I-
you see the midget UFC fighters?
Yes, there's one in Norwich. In Norwich at Pistol Pete's,
Yep.
they have
Really?
little people wrestling. I am this close
I
to
follow
missing
them.
the height requirement. Shit.
She wants to go for the ladies'
I
championship.
guess I've been like Sumo Tyler. Like, yeah.
I have to. I got to look it up.
I'm a little too
'cause-
tall because I would redo the character of Iron Sheik. I am greatest champion in all the world. I go to Madison Square Garden in the city of New York. Greatest champion of all times.
Yeah.
They're saying it wrong. You got to say, fuck Hulk Hogan.
I fuck him in ace.
He's in
And
the ace.
He's a jabroni.
He's
jabroni.
He's
Hulk Hogan
jabroni. I
jabroni.
fuck him in ace.
All right.
A greatest champion in all world of WWE wrestling.
Let me tell you, first of all, rest in peace, Iron Sheik, because he passed
He was
away
one of the greatest
a few months
characters
ago.
and champions ever.
There's a documentary about him. His life is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like he's Iranian. He
Right.
grew up in Iran. He was a strong man. He was a wrestler. He was in Olympics. He lost his daughter. You know, I mean,
Oh, no,
it's
I'm-
so.
I'm-
no, I know
I'm
you're
not
making
truly
fun of him.
making
I'm
fun
just
of him. The
saying
guy
he's was
was a
No,
great
that's an
character.
homage
Great-
right there. Like, you did a
Right.
great impersonation.
No, but he's just so amazing. Absolutely.
You know, a lot of those up and coming wrestlers, like, I mean, they have such great stories. What are you doing?
I
over
opened up Instagram and something came up.
Uh-oh.
That's not what I was looking
You're for
for.
OnlyFans?
Well, it wasn't only.
I think he's
Yeah,
on
look
for
at that.
OnlyFans,
Yeah.
not Norm McDonald's right there. You gotta unmute it there.
Smirch.
Hello, operator.
And Andy Dick.
I'm like, what are we doing? The Jerky Boys?
Yeah,
Like,
listen here, Jerky.
Remember the Jerky?
I've been trying
can
to
tell
get
you,
Johnny
yes,
Brennan
listen.
on here.
Yes,
I-
I'm Jack Torth, Torth.
Listen, can I tell you that in the 90s, that back in Wyndham, we used to do our own brand of Jerky
Jerky
Boys.
Of course you did.
And calling people up. And that's why you knew I was a comedian, where I was like, oh, there were ads for roommates because, you know, Eastern Connecticut State University is in our
Right.
town.
Yep.
We call them up and be like, "Oh yeah, hi. I know you're looking for a roommate. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, I just want to make sure that your daughter's okay with pets because I have a couple of dogs and she's okay with bestiality, right? Like, oh yeah, like this is like, and this is the '90s. Like,
Yeah, it's not like
I
now
was
where
I was
it's
meant
totally
I was meant to
accepted
be I was meant to be where I am right now because
of that.
of that.
Perfect. Well, I think a perfect transition from bestiality
Oh,
is
segue.
by far our favorite question since we've been doing this podcast. One of the things all comedians
This
love.
is usually how we wrap the show.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And I
Because we
think-
talk about high points.
We gotta
We've
talk
talked
about
high points.
yeah.
And we got to talk about the complete other side of that rainbow. And as we like to call them, the funny bad gig moments. Not so funny when they're happening. This
Right.
is that moment that makes you say, maybe I should go back to the psychiatric hospital. It wasn't that bad of a gig. My knee feels pretty
My
good now.
knee feels better.
You know,
I
that
think they'll take me
management
back.
position had a retirement program. So, I don't need to tell jokes to people anymore. But a week later, 2 weeks later after this bad gig, it starts to get funny. And this becomes the gig that when other comedians are telling you their bad gig story, you go, hold my brown liquor. I got a better one.
I got one for you. And it can't
And
be
you
the
may
pool
have-
party one because we've already
No.
talked about
And
that
you-
one.
Like, I don't know
and
if
you
I
may-
have
you may have
any
more than
weird-
one.
for comedy.
It could be improv, whatever.
Okay, like we could go back. Like my first bad gig has nothing to do with comedy. It has something to do with music.
Okay.
When I was
that's
in
fine.
I was in the 8th grade, and listen to this
Evidently,
shit.
it scarred her for a
It,
long
Wow.
it does, and I think about
That's
this
what
now.
that's why I just started laughing. Like, holy shit, she went in the Wayback Machine.
Yes, because
Mr. Peabody.
the Mr. Peabody.
Gee, Mr. Peabody. Yes, hello, Sherman.
Sherman.
Oh my god.
I know.
So we were on a band chorus trip to Montreal, Canada. And we were performing in like this big plaza, singing, and the band was playing. And we got upstaged by this Canadian dude who was a one-man band with like the drum in the
drum
front
and
and
Snapping his knees together with cymbals. And
Oh my God.
Yes. And then let's see.
That's
After
worse
that
than
was
any heckler.
when I did Avenue Q and went to Italy. If anybody doesn't know what Avenue Q is, it's
Is
like
that the
Sesame.
dirty puppet
it's
show?
Dirty Sesame Street.
Yeah.
it's really good.
It's
Yeah.
fantastic.
It's really good.
I got to play Gary Coleman, obviously.
No acting there.
No, it was just all me. It was like I was made for the.
You played Gary Coleman when he was the security guard.
Yeah, security guard Gary
an
Coleman.
adult.
He was the supervisor of Avenue Q.
Not,
Like he was.
not the bike shop owner
No.
molesting Gary
No,
Coleman.
no.
That was Gordon Jump from WKRP
I know.
that played that
Oh,
part.
God.
I never looked. I couldn't watch WKRP anymore.
I know.
Oh, jeez. So,
Sorry.
Lost in Translation, they advertised this show as the Muppets.
No.
Stop it. How many kids were at the show?
A whole lot of kids.
And that's a
And I
God,
sing
it's a
this
dirty
song.
puppet show.
You can be as loud as the hell you want when you're making love. And the puppets are banging behind me while I'm singing this song.
They did this show at the Bradley.
No.
Yeah, it's
Have
an
you not
adult
heard?
show.
Have you not heard
No.
the internet is for porn? Please, oh my God,
No.
I will have to let you off.
Dude, it's-
I've heard of Avenue Q.
Yes.
But I've never gone to see. I never saw it.
They-
So
they did
I
it-
know it's a dirty puppet. Muppets.
Dirty.
The Bradley Playhouse where I do the Scott Higgins Comedy All
Oh,
Stars.
you do? I didn't know you did it, the Bradley.
Yes.
But we're not supposed to
Shit.
swear when we're on stage. They're having dirty puppet shows.
We swear.
I know,
We
I'm
swear
kidding,
there.
I'm kidding.
Like
Oh,
I
that's
to-
why he doesn't invite me to come to the Bradley Playhouse.
Like I told Lenny Clark not to swear there.
Yeah, I know. I know.
But anyway, they brought out the director of Avenue Q came out with some of the puppets, and they did like a 3-minute preview of the show to that crowd because they figured that was a perfect crowd for that show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they sold a ton of tickets to that show.
It's an amazing show.
It's a
Yeah.
great show.
And
It really
it
is.
was an amazing cast. We were on the Amalfi Coast. We were in Ravello.
That's beautiful.
Beautiful. Like I was in my, Audrey Hepburn with the dresses and the hats.
Yeah.
And the whole, because I'm extra.
Yes.
I'm
Light
extra.
my
Yes,
cigarette,
like,
dear.
well, not my cigarette, but I had my hat and I sit and
Light
drink
my
my
blunt.
cappuccino. No, you
You had a blunt.
You know how hard it is to get weed in Italy on the Amalfi Coast? It's really hard.
Just imagine you with a blunt in a
Like a
cigarette
long
holder.
One of those long
That would have been
wands.
that like,
That's right, Charles. Light my
Only
blunt.
she's doing off the long cigarette holder.
Miss Tyler in the piazza.
Yes. Oh my God.
Piazza del Piso.
The piazza.
Hey, what's the matter, you?
What's the matter, you?
But other than that, like for Lowe's,
Well, no,
like
that's
I,
a pretty
I-
bad
those,
one.
those are pretty bad.
You've never had a stand-up gig that just didn't go
well?
well, or had a bad heckler, or anything like that.
No, and now you've just jinxed me. Thanks, Scott.
Good.
Hopefully,
Good.
it's on your show.
Listen, I hope it's because I'm gonna talk. So you talk about characters. So again, we
Yeah.
got Macho Man, we got Grandma Martha.
Oh yeah,
That's coming, and now we have Macaulay Culkin.
Macaulay Culkin's.
There was a reason why, like, I put you on this, and maybe that was.
Grandma Martha's on
Grandma
with me.
Yes,
Martha.
Grandma
I
Martha's
love
on
it.
with you.
You
I
should
love
come
it.
out as Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh yes, Ooh.
Old drag show.
Yes.
Oh, that's right, dears.
Wait, you want to know
Welcome
something
to the
funny?
show. Oh, there you go.
My mother's like, "Oh my God, she's such a sweet lady."
Oh my God, your mom hasn't seen Grandma Martha on
No,
stage.
no, she has not.
Just sees
And
the
she has
pictures
tickets. She's
and
so
stuff.
excited. She's like, "I bought tickets because I want to see Grandma." She's
God.
like, because she's like Mom's Mabley, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm, just like her mom.
Sure,
Yes, she
just
is.
like her.
Hold on.
Yes.
August
She is,
11th.
August 11th.
You around?
Please
I-
come to the show.
I am. I may
because
come
I
just to
guarantee.
watch.
Because
watch-
I guarantee
want a
my
video.
mother is going to be in the front row like she was.
Yep.
Because now she's very supportive of my stuff.
That's awesome.
Uh-huh.
Which
That's
is
awesome.
great.
That is
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
If she had just done that in high school, I would have been Beyonce.
Yeah.
But just
Instead of
saying,
telling-
Susan.
it's-
Just saying, Susan.
we just
Susan, she would have been Beyonce instead of talking about blowing guys in package stores.
we just
Right.
That's a callback, Ace.
Oh,
See,
That's a callback.
I was just gonna say that should be the name of the episode. Dawn Tyler. If my mom supported me when I was younger, I'd be
Yes!
Beyonce.
Yes.
Well, I was going to say that, Scott is like the dad that I always wish I had there. But that's
That's a good one
that's
too.
that's a good one. Or my daughter's
I like-
dad there. Like Right.
All right, we're kind of.
Well, we're gonna workshop that.
Yeah,
but
we
but
gotta-
the Macaulay Culkin,
Spitball that.
I forgot I said that on that episode.
was so
and
funny.
now he forgot he did that, and I will forever use that when I introduce.
Macaulay Culkin. Actually, you know what's funny? The first time I met you was at one of my funny bad gig stories. The first time I met you, it was the week before we were doing that crazy pool party.
No, the first time I met you is when I was at Boomerang.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was that's the
Yeah.
funny bad gig
Yeah,
story.
that's the funny
Because-
bags.
Yeah, funny bad gig
Oh,
story.
bad gigs.
Because
That
if
is
you
a
remember,
that is a bad gig where you have to stand on this tiny little. I felt like I was like on
with
Survivor.
with like a flashlight on.
Yes.
you as a spotlight.
Right, there's this tiny little stage. You know how you're on Survivor, and you got to stand there
Yeah.
and you got to hold something. That's what I felt like. The step
That
is too
was-
big.
that
I'm only
place-
5'1". It was like most of my body height.
The owner clearly has an alcohol problem and talks through the whole fucking show. I have not stepped foot in that place in over a year because I refuse. If the owner of a place doesn't respect, like Jonathan came up, was like, "Oh my God, I loved it. You guys were so." What's his name? Isn't it Jonathan Perry?
Yeah.
Yeah. He came up. He was like, "You guys were so awesome."
yeah. He's
Like,
fantastic.
He supported our show. The asshole that owns that place talks through everyone's set.
Really?
Oh my God.
I was there a couple of months ago with Johnny Rotten and Robbie Cavaco, and it was pretty. It was pretty
Really?
chill. Like,
Well, was the owner there that night?
heck, if I know, all you white people
That's
look alike.
probably why. Hey, don't lump him in with me. He ain't white. I don't know what he is. I'm not going to
Whoa.
say anything.
I don't know. He crossed the line there. He could just been like, "Yeah, he's white." and just
I'm feeling very uncomfortable right now. I'm
He's
just
in the
saying I'm a little triggered.
Please
I'm
don't.
not my-
Please don't bring white tears.
I'm not my.
Please keep your white tears.
I'm
to
not my
yourself.
safe
Yourself,
space
yeah.
right
Listen,
now.
only half of me is sympathizing with you right now. Okay, the other one is like,
That will. Hey,
That could be the name of the episode.
that
right
Willimantic side's going. Fuck
yeah,
you.
fuck you, man.
Only half of me sympathizes with you right now.
Listen, I have struggles sometimes with being biracial.
There you
You'll
go.
see if you come to my show on August 11th,
There you go.
because we'll talk
We
about
could
it.
put
Only half of me.
only half of me.
It's like being in the woods. Like
Now, if people want to buy tickets for August 11th,
they can buy them at newportplayhouse.com. There is a phone number, but
Somewhere.
hell if I know, because
But-
I'm from Connecticut. and-
NewportPlayhouse.com. That's where
Yes,
most
so
people
that's
find
good.
it.
Good. Yep.
And if people want to look up stuff about you,
You can figure me out on YouTube at Dawn Tyler Comedy. I am there. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. We are going to be having Live at the Playhouse presents a comedy night with Dawn Tyler and friends. We have 4 more shows for this year.
Yep.
awesome.
And we just got signed for the whole rest of 2024. We will have 11
Good
shows.
for you.
Yeah.
And
awesome. He
whatever
really-
shows you guys want, you are more than welcome to pick and choose.
That's awesome. That's
He really
awesome.
liked it, and
He
and
really liked it
told
enough
her,
to go,
"Let's
hey,
do it next year."
let's do it next year. We're going
You
to
know
do it all
what?
next year. We're going to bring comedy back to Newport,
That's awesome.
and we're going to have a good time. They're going to be all different kinds of comics. It's not going to be
You're booking fun shows, and you bring
Fun
a
shows,
good energy.
right.
As the host, you're
It's-
bringing good
Thank
energy.
you.
Exactly.
I'm trying to bring the positivity. There's not going to be, some weird penis
No.
jokes and whatever. It's good fun. We're gonna have
Yeah.
it's an experience. I want it to be an experience for people.
No,
not
and,
just,
and that's important because I have a series that I do. Ace has his series that he does. You're building your series,
Right.
And when you're the host, the name that's on the show,
Right.
it's important to bring that energy,
Right.
and the crowd will buy into that. And if you book comics that are fun on the show, they'll
Right.
keep coming back.
Absolutely.
And you're good, and you'll build a following, and
it's-
that's what. And you can tell that you're into it, so they're gonna get into
Right.
it.
Right,
So you're
right.
doing it the right way.
I want to be like the Voltron of comedy, like
Ooh.
arms, legs, head, and together from the show. Voltron will satisfy all of your comedy needs.
I don't know how to say it any better than that.
Well, thank you very much.
all I
Thank you
can
very
say.
much.
Dawn-
I'm sorry, I'm not needing my sexy voice. I was trying to leave that alone.
That's going to be my ringtone now.
I'm gonna call in and be like, "Hi, this is Scott's voicemail."
Sorry.
All right.
No, I'm going to
Maybe
put
Bubba should've
Voltron will satisfy all your comedy needs.
We
It's
will
gonna be my new
satisfy
ringtone.
all your comedy needs. Please give me a call. Yeah.
Oh God.
Lois and Peter, sing us out.
You don't bring me flowers.
Anymore.
Oh, Dawn, awesome tonight. Thank you so much for coming in.
We
Thank
hope
you
had
for
fun.
coming.
Did you have
You
fun?
guys,
I had a great time.
Good.
Just know that always you got a friend.
ladies and gentlemen, Dawn
I
Tyler, I
know.
hope you guys
And
enjoyed
its
that as
name
much
is
as we did.
beer.
Dope.
Sorry.
Don't.
He,
Uh,
he likes beer.
What are you talking about? Hey, Homer. Hey, Homer.
I don't have many voices. Like the only Gilbert, I go, I'm so ticked off that I'm molting. Like that's the only Gilbert Godfrey I got from Aladdin.
Give it to her.
Give me some. Give me some.
I'm so mad that I'm molting.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, there it is.
I do
There
like
it
a
is.
Jennifer Lewis. Honey, listen here, honey. I don't know what you got going on, but you better get your mind right.
Whoa.
We're all over the place.
We
But
are.
Listen, we had fun.
It was
We did.
great. It was great.
We thank you for listening every week, as you do, as Scott likes to say.
I do.
No, we really do appreciate you guys listening. As usual, we're going to ask you, like we do every week, because it's true. We ask if you enjoy the show, please tell a friend about us, share it. 5-star written review on whatever podcast platform. Honestly, you can't even imagine what 1 or 2 reviews gives us in the polls, not polls. It's in the searches. So if someone wants to look for a new comedy podcast, if we have a few reviews, it bumps us up in those algorithms.
Huge,
it really
huge.
does.
Well, every week that we get a couple of them, we get a huge bump up in the rankings. So if you guys haven't had a chance to do so, please just take a minute. It literally takes you a minute to hit 5 stars, write a quick sentence, send, done, and it's a big, big help to us. So if you could do that, we'd greatly appreciate it.
And listen, if you're really into podcasts, you're looking for some new ones. If you're not already listening, we got 2 great podcasts for you. Our good friend Tom Stewart. If you're into the paranormal, My Paranormal Story. I actually just re-listened to the Return to Pain House, which was the episode that he did of us going to Pain House with him last year. Great episode. Very, very good, well produced. Tom's he's a radio guy, so he does that. It's like he's telling ghost stories around a fire. You know what I mean?
They're quick hit episodes of 30 minutes maximum.
Yeah, 30 minutes.
And they're all stories from his experiences as a paranormal investigator. So
fantastic,
great stuff.
And then again, our buddies over at the Mixtape Podcast. I was just listening to their 80s love songs. It was so funny.
These guys are hilariously
so
funny,
good.
and they review stuff from the 80s, early 90s type of stuff. And this week's episode was 80s love songs.
And they'll make a
That's
playlist.
my jam.
You would love this.
That's the only music that I listen to now is 80s and 90s.
You would love this episode then.
Yeah.
This will bring you right back.
But they also do interviews with people. Like they had the guy from Men Without Hats,
the lead singer,
the safety dance guy. Yeah.
SSSSA.
Yeah, there it is. Yes.
Yeah, see? They had him. They had the guy who took over for Dennis DeYoung in Styx when Dennis DeYoung left. The guy who's been with the band since.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Really.
These guys have become good friends of ours. We love promoting them because they do a good show.
Yeah.
They do a good show. If they didn't, we wouldn't promote them as much. But I tell you, that's one of the shows I look forward to every week.
And you know what? I keep forgetting that we never mentioned, but another friend of ours is, I forgot his name, The Art of Bombing podcast.
Dan. Dan Bublitz.
Dan Bublitz had us on his podcast. His whole show is essentially like our funny bad gig story. He gets people to talk about some of the
He gets
worst
into
places.
the weeds about bombing and how
digging
people
out.
dig their way back out of it and everything like that. It's really interesting
good one.
podcast. So check
out
those guys out.
Check out The Art of Bombing. So listen, folks, we are Scott and I literally. You think that we don't, but we had a production meeting earlier tonight.
Yeah,
and we did over dinner.
We did talk about the podcast.
We did talk about the podcast. We talked about like the guests. Like I'm looking at the board across, and the board is from like February through June, and here we are halfway through July, 3/4 of the way through July, and I got to erase that whole board and
start over.
We got to change it because we've got people who we want to get on that, some people, some returning guests. We're going to get Mary Ellen DiPetrillo back for her own show. She's going to be inducted into the Rhode Island Comedy Hall of Fame later on this year.
Yeah.
So I want to get her back on. Been talking to Rhonda Corey about coming back on to talk about her Dry Bar special.
Nice.
So listen, and then there's some people, man, there's a couple of them that, it sucks. You reach out to someone and they go, yeah, I'd love to be on. Here's my people, because these are people who have people.
Yes,
here's my people, get in touch with them. And then those people don't get back to you. But the fact that the person we want said yes tells me it's just going to take time. So
absolutely.
Recently we had Jonathan Groff. Not that one.
And that was the name of the episode.
And that was the name of the episode. This poor guy has been in Hollywood.
His Twitter handle is not that Groff.
Yeah. He is. So are you familiar with the show Blackish?
Of course.
Happy Endings?
He was the head writer on all
He was the head
these.
writer on all of these.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And showrunner. So he was a stand-up comic from here in New England, moved out to L.A., was a writer on Conan O'Brien, on tons of shows. What was it? Ed, Scrubs.
Yes.
How I Met Your Mother, was a writer on all of those. His name is legitimately Jonathan Groff. Then Jonathan Groff,
the actor
right,
comes along, and when I said to Scott, I go, "Hey, I got Jonathan Groff." He goes, "From Hamilton?"
I was all excited. The guy from Mindhunter?
No, not that
He goes,
one.
not that one.
No,
But
not that one.
Jonathan, and that's the thing that sucks because our Jonathan has accomplished so much great stuff.
Right.
So, but it took a good 6 months to get him on.
Yeah, 'cause he was just so
he was
busy.
so busy. So I'm
And he
not
was
giving up.
And he was a great conversation.
When we get off the air, I'm going to tell you some of the ones that we're working on. You're going to be like, "Holy shit!"
I'll
like
be very excited.
people who have actually responded back to my messages and said, "Yeah, I'd be interested," but we just haven't been able to lock them down.
Yeah,
So we've
That's
got,
if
fantastic.
Ace stops talking about the people we might have, we can wrap up and tell you.
Well, I mean,
All
it's
right.
fine. Listen, I want to thank both of you. Like, this has been fantastic.
Thank you.
Oh,
Like,
you were a great
I
guest.
love both of you.
Thank
like,
you.
so much. You know,
Thank you.
I hug you with my full heart.
Oh yes.
Oh my God! And she is not kidding. When I came in and she gave me a hug, it was like from the soul.
No, it was like from Raj getting a fucking hug from his mom on what's happening.
Oh,
Just
my
call me
God.
Florida. Yes.
I felt like Raj. Like I just tried to.
Mama, I can't
Like I
breathe.
tried to record the Doobie Brothers when they played in the high school gymnasium.
I remember that.
You know that episode. I felt bad. I felt bad.
We should.
No, I really do love you
No, we
guys,
love
and
you.
I appreciate you guys as colleagues. You know,
You're one of those people that are very funny on stage. If people see
Yeah, you gotta
Dawn
go
Tyler's
see Dawn.
performing, go see her. She's hilariously funny, but she's genuinely just a great person.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
it is a win-win.
Yes, come see me at least at the Newport Playhouse
August
every
11th.
second, and then every second Friday of the month,
Every
Yes.
second Friday.
She's
in the month.
putting together
except for in
Yeah.
December.
Yeah.
Putting together some great shows with some
Yeah,
great comics.
I'll be
So,
hosting some other things. I'll be at Comedy Park in August.
awesome.
I'm going on a cruise. Happy day, and then my
Nice.
daughter's getting married
Oh, nice.
in
Awesome.
September.
You gonna do a set there at the wedding?
No, she'll kill me.
Don't
Are you
do
kidding
it
me?
at
She
all.
doesn't- I asked her, I'm like, can I sing? I want to sing you a song.
Oh, that's
and she was
cute.
like, absolutely not.
Well, Dawn, we did an episode called "You Know It's a Bad Gig When," where we came up with a list of things.
That would be
weddings were one of them.
That would be one. I would never. I
No.
don't know.
No,
Aside.
don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't do.
Listen,
She
don't.
knows her mother.
let's put
No,
it this
no, I
way.
would never. You know, she's.
Let-
It's weird because she's just like me, and we were actually thinking about doing our own podcast together. Because if you
It's
think
funny.
I'm funny,
She's funny too.
she's funny, but she's
In a
kind of
different way.
shy.
Oh.
She's real. She's like me in my 20s.
Yeah.
And I'm a different person than I was in my 20s, but
Right.
she is exactly like
you
who
were.
I. Yeah, just like
Yeah.
just jab, and I'm like.
Quiet until she comes out with something,
Yes.
and it just cuts
Well,
you
they-
right in the jug.
I don't know if you know this about me. They call me the Kraken.
The Kraken.
Beware the
Yes,
Kraken.
you know, like from Clash of the Titans.
Yeah.
Unleash the Kraken. If I'm very sweet until you piss me off,
Until
and then
you
it's
piss off.
and then I might have to tell you about yourself in such a way that in about 15 minutes you will leave the room, and then you'll start crying, and you don't know
huddling
why
in the
you're
corner.
crying and huddling in the corner because I have just read you so hard that you're going to need therapy.
You rode me so hard.
Red.
Oh, I
red.
I heard
not
that
road.
completely wrong.
Yeah, you
No.
were looking at your phone. Pay
Yeah,
attention.
I was on Pornhub. And
Listen,
so I just totally.
You're only like the 1/4 horse machine. You know, like in the in the mall when you put a quarter in.
a
Yeah.
quarter. She gave me credit. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Wow. Nice.
Anyway, so weren't you
A
bitching at me?
nickel? What?
Yeah.
Are you
Oh, yeah,
trying
he's
to
a
age
nickel
us with
ride.
the no? At our age, the pony ride was a quarter. Like
Yeah,
he wasn't.
I
He
know.
was that little mini carousel that you could barely fit in for a nickel.
with one horse in the middle.
Yeah.
Like, no, I
No.
thought he was like the.
No, I was
This
the,
one.
I was the single horse that was broken
single
that
horse
the
that-
kid sat on and
the
just
one,
rocked
and
himself.
it just.
All right.
I'm done before you.
Somehow-
That's weird.
Somehow,
Not for me.
No, I know, not for you.
I love how 5 minutes ago you were bitching at me for holding the show up from ending.
Hey, you
And
didn't
now
finish,
it's you.
so now.
This is the show that doesn't end. It just goes on and on. I didn't know I had lamb chop in
curtains
there.
Lights. This is it. We'll hit the high. No.
No, lamb chop.
Okay. Well, anyway, folks, thanks again. Dawn, thank you.
Thank you,
It was a
Scott,
blast.
Ace.
Thank you
Absolutely
for having
love
us.
you,
Thank you, guys.
Ace.
Come see my damn shows.
Come see her damn shows.
Go
Newport
see her
Playhouse.
damn shows.
Honey,
That's it.
if you ain't coming to see my shows,
And other than
you
that,
ain't doing anything with your life.
we will talk to you
Next week.